Welcome to the Coach's Corner. John Stanko of ICGales.com, being joined by Iona College softball head coach Melissa Inouye. Coach, appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me.
Let's just get right off the bat. You have 3 non-conference tournaments along the East Coast against some very tough opponents, some NCAA regional opponents. When making that non-conference schedule, what were the main things you're looking forward to scheduling for your team?
We always, number one, try to get our juniors and seniors back to where they're from. This year's seniors class is mainly from the East Coast. So we tried to get a lot of games on the East Coast, so it makes it a little bit easier for parent travel. College of Charleston is going to be a good test for us. Nice facility, a good opponent in the Colonial Athletic Conference. And then Longwood was the NCAA team last year, as well as DePaul. DePaul used to be in the World Series back in the day, so long winning tradition there. As well as Presbyterian will be playing out there, and College of Charleston, and I think that Northern Illinois out of the MAC, so the other MAC. But it'll be a good test for us right off the bat with 2 NCAA teams.
Those non-conference tournaments, last year you learned that freshman Marnie Skinner had the ability to be a big impact for your team in those tournaments. Are there any freshmen on this year's roster you think can jump out during those first 12 games or so and know that she can make an impact during the MAC season?
Yeah, as far as new pitchers go, it's Samantha Bender, freshman. She brings definitely a different dynamic because she's a different type of pitcher compared to the other 3 that we have on staff. So a good array of pitching repertoire, if you will. They all complement each other. She threw well this fall and got tested right away against Lehigh, an NCAA team as well. So we look forward to her being able to throw for us this spring. But we'll be relying on a pitching staff with all 4, with Lonnie, Marnie, Jessica, and Sam. And then another freshman that played a lot this fall was Natalia Murray at shortstop. So we look for her to fill the void that Katie Newton obviously held down at short for the last few years.
And now turn to the conference schedule. Your first 3 conference games are home doubleheaders. What was your reaction knowing they're going to be at Donald D. Walsh Field for those first 3 games?
We always love playing at home, especially with the fan support as well as the outfield, and then now with our games on ESPN3. That's even more helpful as far as parent support and everything, especially the ones that are not from around the area. But I mean, it's the MAC schedules that, but it's great. I mean, every year it could be different, but I think hopefully it favors us.
Well, it evens out a bit because your last 3 games are on the road with your last 2 games in Western New York. Luckily, it'll be a little bit warmer this time around when you play those 2 teams compared to last year, but that's a tough way to end the conference schedule. So how do you prepare yourself and the team, even early on, knowing that your last 3 doubleheaders are going to be tough challenges?
If anything, getting the 2018 MAC schedule, that was probably the only hiccup that I saw was going to Buffalo at the end of May, at the beginning of May. So it is what it is. You got to be able to play on the road. Buffalo's always a tough trip for everybody in the conference. So hopefully it will be warmer then, but we'll do our best.
Now, you bring a lot of new freshman talent, but you also got to replace a lot of veteran leadership that left the team. You mentioned Katie Newton. We have to mention Kristin Turner, the program's all-time greatest hitter. So how do you fill her void in the lineup knowing that big power presence isn't going to be there?
Well, I don't think you can replace, Kristin Turner's bat, because that was, I think, definitely a rare thing to have. But one that is tough. I think we felt that a little bit this fall, the early part of the fall. We didn't really have quite an offensive leader in our fall games. But I think we're going to be able to be more of a 1 through 9 kind of lineup. If we have to play a little bit more small ball and steal some bases since we have a little bit more speed, then we'll have to do that. But I think just kind of having everybody buy into quality at bats and doing their job. If you're a power hitter, your job is to drive in some runs. And if your job is to bunt and move somebody over, that's your job. So I think if everybody can buy into that, and as long as we have one more run than the other team, then we'll be okay.
And one major key of success for your team last year was defense. You guys were the best defensive team in the MAC, and you brought that into the national postseason as well. You lose some key positions, though, in starting center field, starting shortstop. So how do you maintain that defensive excellence you had last year?
Yeah, I mean, all 4 seniors played a lot last year, so it is tough to lose them from a defensive side. But, our hope is that, when we go out recruiting, we're always trying to be too deep in every position. And so even though maybe, say, the underclassmen didn't play last year, now their job is to kind of come into that role. So, we kind of see Rebecca Gabert filling in a little bit more in center, Sierra DiGiulio and Jasmine fighting over there at first base, and then obviously Natalia Murray, freshman, over at shortstop. But we have 2 other freshman outfielders, Kayla Huber and Maggie Foley. So we're pretty deep. I think if anything, we're deeper as far as position goes. But I think we're not hitting for as much power. But like I said earlier, as long as we're doing 1 through 9 is buying in and doing their job, and more team offense, then I think we'll be okay.
Now, reigning MAC Defensive Player of the Year, Tory Danner is returning behind the plate. She's a senior this year. So do you think she can play a big role in maybe those youthful players getting more playing time on the field, being the captain of the defense, seeing everything unfold in front of her?
Absolutely. Tori's kind of the mom of the team. She sure loves to cook. I wish she would cook for the coaching staff, but she seems to.
What's her best meal? I have to ask this question.
I don't know. That kid always tells us different menus. Like, I don't know, like she'll say shrimp scampi with vegetables. So it's not the college student menu, but Tori is the mom of the team. Kind of has that maternal instinct, takes care of everybody, off the field, on the field. But I think having her behind the plate for another year is going to be really helpful to the not only the defense, but just kind of team morale, along with the other 3 seniors.
So with the long break now, spring semester starting in mid-January, what are you most looking forward to that will carry you through this winter break to get back on the pitch with your players?
I think just getting everybody back together again. 5 weeks for a winter break is a long time when you go from seeing everybody every day. So getting everybody back in mid-January is always an exciting time of the year. And really just kind of getting our goals set for the year. And I think our biggest thing is we want to be consistent this year. We want to have a back-to-back good season, not only in the MAC, but hopefully postseason-wise as well. But I think that's our biggest thing right now is we kind of talked at the beginning part of the year is we want to be able to do back-to-back as far as just consistent seasons goes. And I think we have the right pieces to the puzzle. And I think it's just a matter of getting out on the ball field and seeing what happens, seeing what happens as well as what our journey is this year.
Well, Coach Inouye, appreciate the time. Enjoy the holidays and best of luck coming the spring semester.
Thank you.